In today's video, I want to show you how to create a hero area which has a background. Sometimes you will want to do this to just change things around and impress your clients. So we're going to do this step by step, and it is quite actually straightforward to do. So let's head over here and let's get started. So let's start off by adding our video background. But before we get started, I have something very interesting for you. If you want to master Divi, I have a course called Divi 5 Mastery. This is a course that you need if you want to get ahead of everybody when it comes to using Divi, because as you know, this is Divi 5. It has changed completely from Divi 4. So I cover everything that you need to know to get up and running really fast. Now, this course is only $27, and when I add new modules onto it, I will not be charging you any extra. So lock in your price at $27. Very soon the price may be going up. All right, so let's go ahead and start designing this. Oh, by the way, if you really want to see what's involved here, there's 44 lessons, and I'll be adding more very, very soon. So as you can see here, you explore the interface, and there's 3 parts to this because the interface is very important. Now, further down here, you learn how to use Flexbox, you learn how to use nested rows, and in the design here, I also show you how to use the design library, because the Divi library is very, very powerful. I also go on to teach you how to design websites in Divi 5. Now, this design workflow is very, very important because you cannot just go in and just start designing all over the place. There's a specific workflow that you need, and I cover it here as well. So anyway, here we also have the theme builder. So there's a lot for you to learn, and I'll be adding even more to this. Anyway, let's not waste a lot of time and get started. So the first thing you want to do is to head over to your section settings. Now, this is very important because this is where we're going to add our video background. So I want to come over here to content. So the next thing you want to do is to come over here to the background. Okay, so you notice that you have these different tabs. This is where you'd go in if you want to add just a background color. But what we need is a background video. So I'm going to come over here, and we are going to add our background video this way. Now, I've already gone ahead and uploaded a video, and it's right here in my media library. So what you want to do is to come over here to upload files, and then you'd find your video. But you see, the video that you're going to choose needs to be small. It can't be a massive video because it's going to slow down your website. So you need to be mindful about that. Another thing that I also do is to use a software called Handbrake, because it compresses the video file. Okay, so right now, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going in and just adding a video that will work for us. So these are the kind of videos you want to use, you know, something that has a lot of action going on, but this is way too long. As you can see, it's 37 seconds. So once you locate your video, you want to click on open, and then it uploads it to your media library. So this is where my video is. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and then I am going to now say upload video. Now, as you can see, there's also the file URL here in case you may need it, you know, at another, stage. But let's go ahead and click on upload video. So you can see here that the video is there, but we can't really see it. Of course, we have a preview here, which is giving us an idea of what things look like. Okay, so what we're going to do next is to make sure that we have this video filling in the whole screen. So to do that, you want to come over here to section settings, and then go to background. So over here, you want to go to sizing, and what we need is the height. So let's go ahead and enter 100 VH. Hit enter, and now we are at full screen for our video. The next thing you want to do is to add our content. So I'm going to start off by clicking here on the rows, and I'm going to say equal columns. Okay, now we need to add our text modules. I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to center everything. Okay, and I'm going to give this a title. In fact, before we give it a title, let me just duplicate this because I'm going to need 2 of these. Okay, so now that I have these 2, I'm going to go in here and change this title. I'm going to call this Fun and Games. Now, this is also going to depend on the type of website you're building. You can have your own titles. So for this one here, we're just going to add some basic lorem text. Okay, just like that. And then finally, we want to add our buttons. So I'm going to click here on this plus button, and I'm going to go with a group because I want to have 2 buttons side by side. So now that I've created my group, it's time to add my buttons. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and select it. and I am going to just customize this a little bit. Now I'm using Crafter presets, saving me time to design these buttons. But if you want to design this button, you can click here in the module settings, you come over here to design, and then you go to the button here, activate custom styles, and then you can start adding your button background color, border, text, and so on. Okay, but for me, I created a preset, and this is a product, by the way, that I'm selling on my website. It has all my modules pre-designed for me. So I want to go ahead and add a button, and you can see it's already customized. Great. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go in and duplicate it. Okay. So now that I have these two buttons, the way it's structured is one is on the top, one is on the bottom. Okay. But we want them side by side. So we have to use Flexbox. So I'm going to come over here in my group settings. Okay. And then we're going to go to layout, and we can see here we're in flex mode, but our direction is column, which means everything is pointing down. We want it sideways. So we have to go for row. Boom. And now our buttons are side by side. The next thing I want to do now is to make sure that my buttons here are bang in the center. And to do that, we're going to justify the content like that. Just as simple as that. And pretty much we are good to go. So now that we have there's further things that we also need to do here. So I'm going to go into my row. Okay. And then I want to go into contents and go to elements. Now, the reason why I want to go into my column here is I want to remove the spacing that we have so I can add my own custom spacing, because spacing is also a design element which is very, very powerful. In fact, this is what defines professional designers and amateur designers. Right now, everything is the same size. Okay, so what we want to do now is to go to design, layout, because I can see we have this 30 pixels here. Horizontal gap and vertical gap. I want to get rid of that, and also want to get rid of this. Hit enter, and you can see everything is now compressed. It's now close together. There's no spacing between that. That's because I want to add my own spacing, which is based on a spacing system. Okay, so to do that, I also have, in fact, before I do that, I want to show you how you would do this if you were doing this manually. So if you're doing this manually, you would come in here, and then first of all, you want to add your size. So you'd go to design, text, and then this is where you'd go in and add your text size. Okay. But in our case, we are using SiteKrafter framework. It has all my sizes pre-designed and also my spacing system all pre-designed for me. Okay. So instead of doing it manually, I'm now going to switch over and use the SiteKrafter framework. So I'm going to come over here, go to advanced, attributes, and then I'm going to set my attribute as a class, and then I'm going to name it here. Okay, so in the meantime, I just have to close and open it again like that. And now I have the ability to go in and add my classes. Now, this is a class-based system of designing websites. It's very, very powerful. Again, it's a product that I have on Divi University. So I want to say SK because I want custom headings. So if I go SK, I can go with 8XL. Okay, now you can see I have my my class here. The next class I want to have is perhaps maybe make my font bold. Okay, so I'm going to type 800, and then you can see here it's font 800. Okay, all these are classes which are pre-designed for me. The moment I click it, you can see there it has gone in and it has made it nice and bold. So I can go in here and change its size. So there's 700. If you go all the way down to 100, you can see that it's super, super thin. So let's keep it at 800. Oops. 800. Okay. Next, I also need to go in here and customize my text here. I'm going to go in, add my attribute, go to class, and we're going to say class. I'm going to close out of here and open it again. Okay. Now, this is not a custom heading. This is this custom paragraph text or custom text. So we're going to say text, and now you can see all my classes. I want to go with large. Yes, great. So now I have large, but since I'm on on this text, I can now add my spacing scale. Now this is where the power comes in. So as you're designing, you can look and see what space you want to have. So for example, for the top there between this paragraph and the main title, I may want to do MT for margin top, and I'm going to go with medium. Okay. And then for margin bottom, I want the buttons to be closer to the paragraph text. So I'm going to say MB for margin bottom, and I want this down to small. Okay, do you see that? So this spacing here, what I have here is half of what I have here on the top based on my scale in my design system. And this way of designing websites, as I mentioned before, it's a class-based system. It just makes your websites consistent, and it is really, really fun to work with. Okay, so I'm going to close out of here now, and then I need to center all of this. So in order for us to do that, again, Flexbox comes to the rescue. So I'm going to come over here, click on this gear icon, and then go into design. Okay, next we're going to go to layout, and over here we need to justify center, and this is what brings everything bang on in the middle, and pretty much we are almost done with our design. So you may want to go in and change your text here. So I'm going to go into content, text, and now you may also want to go into the second button here and give it a title. So let's say learn more. Okay, so now that we have our buttons, we can also go in and customize this if we want to. So I'm going to go in, and this time I'm going to go into the design tab, and we're going to go into the button, and let's say custom styles, button background. So for this one here, I want to change it completely to something like that, so it really stands out. But of course, the text now is not easy to read, so you may need to go in and fix that. So I'm going to go to button text, change this to that. So now our contrast is perfect. Now, because we used the SiteKrafter framework, it's going to be very, very easy for us to go in and make changes if we need to. So for the sake of this video, so that we can see our final result, I'm just going to add another section here just so that we can see where our video ends. Now we're going to go ahead and save, and then we're going to do a quick preview, and there we go. So now we have our hero area with text behind it. Now, the most important thing in this tutorial is to make sure that you use a video that is really compressed, and also a video that has a little bit of more action in it, because that's how you want to attract people to take action when they land on this page. Anyway, let me know what you think about this video. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.